The Empowerment Show aims to equip individuals with the necessary tools, knowledge, and confidence to make informed decisions and take control of their lives. It also focuses on ensuring access to essential resources and the opportunities.
Hey, good evening. How you guys doing this evening? I hope everyone is well. As usual, we start the show off by saying things that we like to be grateful for, me, family, friends, the opportunity to breathe air. Those things are things that I have to be grateful for. Um, I hope you guys have a good day today because I'm bringing some people on, or a young man, and he happens to do a lot of things. He's very talented. So here he comes. Hey, what's up, Mr. T?
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
How you feeling, brother? You good?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm all
Thank
right. You know, I usually start the show off by saying things that I like to be grateful for. So is there anything that you like to be grateful for, brother man?
I'm grateful to have air in my lungs and to be alive and to have another day to get a chance to live this thing called life.
Because life keep lifing, no matter what you do. So listen, why don't you? I didn't get an opportunity. I guess I had the opportunity, but I didn't utilize the chance to introduce who you are and what you do. So I'm going to afford you that chance to do that for yourself. So tell the people who you are and what you do.
My name is Tizlon Bowie. I'm a director, choreographer. I work across theater, film, stage, and I love creating. I used to perform, and about 3 years ago, I transitioned into being a creative.
Okay, so what kind of places have you worked?
I've worked on Broadway. I've done television shows, like live appearances. I've been in a movie. I've been in Vogue magazine. I've done a lot of commercial work and theater work, and and entertainment.
You got that model look. So what Broadway shows have you? Something that I would know.
I was in the show called Gary, a sequel, Titus to Andronicus. It was on Broadway in 2019, starring Nathan Lane. That's the only show that I was in. And then after that, the pandemic happened, and then I've decided to fully transition into creative.
This is something that you've always wanted to do, your life passion, or?
Yes, I wanted to choreograph since I was probably in the 6th grade, but I knew that I had to have a performing career first before I transitioned so that I can learn the business and learn how to be a better leader and know what people need.
Yeah, being a good leader is very important. And I think one of the most important things about being a leader is that you're willing to listen to other people, and listen to their opinions. You're still the boss. You still have the last word, but that also means you have the responsibility and the weight on your shoulders to produce. So I understand what it is to be a good leader, and you seem to be moving along in the right track. How much education do you have? Just curious.
I have a bachelor's degree.
Okay. Yeah. Is your bachelor's degree, is that in performing arts?
Yes, it's in dance.
It's in dance. Okay. Yes. I would tell you to get up and give me a couple of twirls. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to you. But I do want to know about this dancing a little bit more. I want you to elaborate on it a little bit. Have you ever been with Alvin Ailey, those dances there? You ever got an opportunity to experience that?
No, I went to the school. I trained at the school in high school. So I was there from 9th to 12th grade. I went to this amazing high school called Professional Performing Arts School, and they have a partnership with the Ailey School. So we would have academics until about 1:15, and then from 1:15 to 4:30, we would have dance class. And then after that, I never really wanted to be in a company, which is what Alvin Ailey is. I've always wanted to do commercial work, although my first job out of college was in a company. But then I quickly realized after that's not what I wanted to do. So it hasn't really ever been a dream of mine, but they are absolutely amazing. I have a lot of close friends of mine that are in the company that I admire. They're doing some great work now. Well, but they're doing great work.
Did you get to meet Alvin Ailey?
I have not. I think he passed before I was born, unfortunately.
Really?
Yes.
Well, how old are you? What are you, 20?
I don't tell my age these days. but I'm young and fabulous, as you can see.
I never tell your age, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit about your life and who you are and go ahead. I'm all ears, bro.
Do you want to know anything specific? That's a
I
I
want to know what you want to tell.
About my life. Well, I'm from born in Brownsville, Brooklyn. Lived there till I was about 7, and then we moved to Crown Heights. I would say I started my introduction to dance was in an after school program. There was this after school program in Brooklyn called Jackie Robinson Center, yeah, JRC, Jackie Robinson Center, which doesn't exist anymore. But I was looking them up a few weeks ago, actually. But yeah, it was an after school program. You could take basketball, you could take martial arts, drumming. I played the trumpet when I was like 9. I was in this like marching band. But it was all kind of to mask me dancing so that no one could really tell that I was different. But I knew that I wanted to dance, and that was kind of like my cover up. And then my cousin Aldora, she was going to this dance school, and I went to her recital, and I was like, I want to do that. And so the next year, my family put me in dance classes, and it kind of just because I was living in the projects at the time in Crown Heights, it gave me something to look forward to every weekend. It kept me busy. It helped me dream outside of my circumstances. And if I didn't have that, I don't know what type of person that I would be. But yeah, I was able to audition for my high school, and I got in my high school, and that was what changed my life. Because in this high school, you had students who were already stars. Like I sat next to a guy that was in Gossip Girl. One of my friends was in Blue's Clues. My grandma, I would be watching TV with her, and then someone from my class is popping up in a commercial on like a soap opera that she's watching. And these people, I'm in class with them every day, but no one ever says anything. No one, they were all just like super humble, loving, supportive, talented. And I kind of, jumping forward now that I'm older, I've always said that I owe my life to that school because if I didn't go to that school, my life would be different. And so I started a alumni association about 3 years ago with two friends of mine who also went to the school. We keep in contact to bridge the gap between the alumni and the students because there are a lot of amazing alumni. For instance, if you watch The Bear, Jeremy Allen White was in my class. There's a lot of people. And so I wanted to make it easier for the students if they don't want to go to college, if they want to, because a lot of them don't need to sometimes go to college for more training. They can jump right into the business. So I was like, well, let's make it easier for them. If they want to audition for Hamilton, the dance captain of Hamilton was in my class. So they should be able to reach out and kind of do those things. So we've been providing master classes, talkback panels, mentorship opportunities. We have an annual assembly every year. But yeah, I went to high school for dance, and then I went to college for dance, and then I got my first job my senior year of college, which was in Ronald K. Brown Evidence Dance Company, and then my career kind of started from there, and that was, a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, huh?
Maybe like
just a couple of years ago.
10.
But don't you think that the college education that you receive in dance, don't you think that helps you now in what you do as far as your leadership abilities and the things that you can offer to other people like you that want to dance?
For sure. I think high school, turned me into a great human and just taught me the community, the type of people I want to be around. And it taught me to dream big and that my dreams could be a reality. But I would say college taught me how to be an artist. We just had so many comp classes, and you get to work with different choreographers, and you get to train in different styles, and you get to play. And I think in high school, you don't really get to play that much. It's a really strong curriculum. You just have your technique classes, but in college, you're able to take different styles and different techniques. And for me, we had this comp class, and we had it every semester. You get to create a piece. It could be about 5 minutes, and we had this extensive costume shop that was 2 floors. So you could just dream of anything you want, and then you could make it happen with the costumes, and you could pick your lighting and everything. So I think for me, college helped me out a lot because I wouldn't be the artist that I am if I didn't go to that school.
Yeah, I only asked that question because you were telling me about the young people that you have that may not need to go to college, that may need to go straight, they can go straight into the business.
Okay.
And just personally, I think, yeah, going straight into the business, yeah, you can do that. Means you have the talent. But I just think that in this world, it takes more than talent. And with the degree, and by you learning what you learn in college, that gives you more than what you would do if you, let's say, you had went straight into the business.
Yeah. I also think there's power in like just building a network in the community. And I think that's what school is good for. And then just learning work ethic. I think when you're in high school, sometimes like you kind of depend on your parents, but when you're in college, it's like you learn how to survive. Really.
So
Yeah.
in short, it teaches you how to be a critical thinker. Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can take that and incorporate the dance with that.
Yes.
And that kind of makes you who you are, and that's why you can lead people. So, with the young people, what exactly do you do with them?
So we've been having. Right now I'm like the artistic director, so I kind of just curate the classes that we have for them. So there's the high school has drama, dance, musical theater, and film. So we basically bring in alumni to teach like scene study classes or do like a Broadway repertory workshop or like partnering classes, panels where people will come and talk because not everyone graduated and still in the arts. So we have some people that are doctors now, some people who have parallel careers or work in physical therapy or speech pathology, music therapy. So we just kind of try to show the students that if you don't want to do this, these are other realms that you can go into, and really just want to inspire them because I think after the pandemic, a lot of these kids were learning off of a computer, and it's really hard to be an artist and interact with the screen, and we feed off of people,
Right.
And so just trying to inspire them and give them some hope and knowing that like they went to a great school with a great legacy.
Just curious, what school is this?
Professional Performing Arts School.
So only the kids that go there are privy to the program that you're introducing, or do you bring outside people? In other words, if any young kid wanted to be a part of the program and not go to the high school, can they do so?
No, unfortunately. But one day I would love to start after school program. So that might be a bit more accessible.
No, you'll be the next. Instead of Alvin Ailey, they'll say Tislam Born.
Yes, they will.
How about that? Then people will be fighting to want to get into your class.
Yes.
I think it's possible. What do you think?
Definitely possible.
So what kind of things do you think you have to do in order to make something like that happen?
After school program?
Well, to become like I don't want to say Alvin Ailey because I think everybody should be themselves. Be yourself because everyone else is taken. So as Tislam Born, how do you plan to reach status? I'm sorry, Bowie. I always call you Born, but Bowie, at how do you plan to reach the status that Alvin Ailey has reached?
I won't say I'm trying to reach the same status as Alvin Ailey, but because I think we have different dreams. Even though, yeah, we have different things that we want to do. But I think for me, I just have to keep doing me and worrying about myself and what I'm creating and staying true to me and creating the work that I want to see and that I care about, and staying true to myself and my artistry and God. And I think from where I'm from and what I've been through and, where I am now, it's a dream come true. I think sometimes it's hard to realize that when you're in it, but I am living my dreams. This is I've prayed to live my life as an artist, and I've been able to do that. And so I think that, and I've been shown that I'm doing the right thing. So I think I have to just keep going. And I think that everything I want is going to happen, is going to come to me. It's a long game. I've dedicated my life to this. So
Hey,
Way too far back now.
you get no complaints out of me, man. I think if you want something, you got to go through the struggles. So, what kind of struggles are you going through? Now, every time I hear the word artist, I hear starving in front. Starving artist. So, are you a starving artist working
I'm
as
not.
a
I don't like.
waiter and in a restaurant? You're working as a waiter, working to get yourself on stage.
No, I am just focusing on my art right now. I don't really like the term struggling artist. I think it is what I'm realizing. I've had really high highs and I've had really low lows. And I think what I'm realizing, especially after switching into from performing into being a creative, is that as a performer, as talent, your agents are constantly sending you on auditions. So it's like, even when you don't know what's next, you can get this email and you're like, hey, I'm auditioning for this show tomorrow and it's this great paycheck and my life could change.
Hmm.
And I've experienced that where I got an email. My Broadway show was basically, I got the email, I think, on a Wednesday. The auditions on Friday, they're going to hire you in the room and rehearsals will start immediately. And so my life literally changed in a day. Um, but as a creative, at least starting out, you have to do a lot of the work yourself. So it's a lot of networking. It's a lot of people. You have to, in theater per se, you have to be hired by the directors or a playwright or someone, a producer. And so your agents aren't really getting you jobs or submitting you for things. It's a lot of the work that you have to do for yourself. I forgot your question.
Don't worry, we're gonna take a little break, and we come back. I actually want to get into uh, when we talk about struggling artists. So I
Oh yeah.
see what I notice is that a lot of artists, when they become big time, or they forget about the finances, the money part, the money end of it. The dancing and that's all the fun part of it. But how do you deal with yourself financially? We'll talk about that when right just as we come back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. We're back again, and we're here. We're having a little conversation about what artists or dancers per se is. My man is a dancer and choreographer. Once they're doing their dancing thing and they get the jobs, what do they do about their finances? How do they look? In other words, what do you do to sustain yourself?
I don't have this all figured out yet. Yeah, but for me, when I am working, I save money. So I'm not, I make sure that I put some of it in my savings because I know that I thrive the best when when I'm able to control my schedule, and I'm able to do the things that I need to do as an artist because I need a lot of time to kind of just be by myself and to think. So for me, that's applying for residencies and fellowships that allow you space to create in time. But I think a lot of it is just kind of saving while you're working instead of spending all of the money.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, there's no answer because things are just getting more and more expensive, and so and this career is a bit, it's not it can be unstable at times, and then there are times where you can feel on top of the world. But like I said, it's a roller coaster. So I think if it's something that you love to do, you just have to be passionate about it, and have some sort of belief or faith in a higher being, or else you'll drive yourself crazy.
Mhm.
Or yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's a very good thing, and that you have to have passion, you have to have desire, will, um, but you also have to be able to sustain yourself. Now, being that you're not working like a full time job, or you're working for someone, how would you suggest, or what would you tell other dancers, or what they should do about their medical and other types of their needs? How would they take care of the needs outside of dancing?
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of resources. I'm in New York, so there's Medicaid that you can apply for. Um, with if you're a part of a show usually or a union, there's ways to get health insurance through that, but you have to work multiple weeks. That's something that's being debated on and figured out right now, because it is all pretty messed up, to be honest. So there's no answer to that. Yeah, I think like you just have to find out what works for you and how to take the best way to take care of yourself, whether that's finding out what health insurance you can afford to make things work. But we are in crazy times right now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
But I could imagine if you think it's difficult for a single person, how about a person that's in your position and want to be a dancer, but he has a family?
Yeah.
I mean, I could just imagine how is he going to take care of his family?
Yeah. And to be fair, like it's hard, but there are great jobs. I have I'm doing well. I have a lot of friends that are doing well that have, that are on Broadway, obviously. So they have great income. And there are ways, right now the market is interesting because some shows aren't staying open long enough for
Hmm.
you, so it is a thing, but it is just if there's any young people listening, there is a way to have a successful career. I'm not trying to deter anybody,
No,
but
there are young people listening, and I like to. What I like to do here is as you can see in the marquee, is I don't want to underestimate anyone, undervalue, or I don't want to marginalize, and that means myself or anyone else, other people. So I say that to say is that a lot of young people, they do things like they'll graduate high school and run to college, and they run up this big bill, this big old credit card bill. Because right as soon as you get there, the guys are handing you credit cards in your hand. So they're not really well versed when it comes to finances, which is why they get into a lot of trouble. Now, in your case, you got kids that want to do what you want to do, and I'm just trying to help them keep them out of trouble
yeah,
because they'll end up in a bad place, especially in your profession. I'm sure that you've seen it time and time again as people end up really in a really bad place.
yeah, yeah. Save your money when you can.
Hmm.
Talking to myself.
Talking to yourself. I would tell you to just for young people, I'd tell you first chance you get, I'd open up an IRA. I'd go to a financial institution of your choice, and I probably would open up at least an IRA and start putting money in there for retirement or times when you're not going to have any money because there's no guarantees in your business, no guarantees at all, and it's very competitive.
Yeah,
Very, very competitive. Very much dog eat dog.
yeah,
So yeah, it's not just all about you having talent or you being the most talented one there. There's other nuances that come with this.
yes,
You understand?
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it sounds great when you got all the glory and you're on stage. What happens when you get off the stage?
Hmm.
How are we gonna live then? You
Yeah,
see, how we gonna feed ourselves? How are we gonna clothe ourselves? And those are the questions that I think a lot of young people they need that needs to be addressed to them because you got a guy getting out of high school and no one tells him that they're going to give you these credit cards and let me teach you what you should do with these credit cards. You can't spend it like it's cash. No one actually teaches them that. So now you got these same kids that going into your profession and no one is telling them the downside of it.
yeah. No one told me that. Yeah. So
And I don't mean to deter anyone,
yeah,
but you should know what you're getting into.
yeah,
And not just because this is something that you want to do and you got a passion for it. You should understand what you're getting yourself into. You know, like
yeah.
you said, no one told you the downsides. You think you still be doing it if someone did?
I want to try it first for myself. You have to
Hmm.
live. I'm learning. You live and learn. And as you get
Yeah.
older, everything that your elders and parents said was true.
But it helps you walk into it with open eyes. You don't,
Yeah.
you don't, flashy lights and all of that. That does a lot for some people, and the stars in the eyes, but they forget about reality. And then
Yeah.
when they come back down, man, it's a hard crash.
Yeah. And then the thing is, like, you just have to figure out what works for you. For me, when I graduated, my way of making money quickly was to teach. And it was something that I was good at. And so I would, teach at different studios and set work at different studios. And sometimes when work is slow, I'll reach back out to those same studios and maybe go set a piece. And because I don't teach there regularly anymore, but like you just have to figure out what you're good at. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a survival job, as we call it, but you may have to make sure that if you want to be an artist, that is at the forefront of what you want to do. So you can't put your survival job before your art. And that was something that I battled with in the beginning of my career because I needed to make money. And so there were times when I told my agent I was going to auditions, but I was going to go to work because I needed to pay my bills, and that,
Right.
I couldn't risk not going to work and then not having a job the following week, so it is a give and take, but eventually if you work hard at something, it's going to happen. You just have to have faith. I don't really know anyone, especially now, any of my friends that have given up on what we've been doing since we were 15 years old, that their dream hasn't come true.
Right.
And so you really just have to keep going, and you never know if you stop.
So this is what I get out of all of it through most of our conversation. When I ask you about college, I give you that because that becomes actually for you, it's a safety net. You can, if you don't dance, you can teach. It gives you abilities to do other things. So if you just dance and that's all you do, to kind of put you in a box. You got to have, as you would call it, survival jobs. So that means you have to have survival skills in order to get that survival job. You got me? You have the skills to teach. Bachelor's degree. You can make money. Everyone that's in that profession can't do that. They don't have the ability to make the money like that because they don't have the skills, because they lack the education to do so. So what I'm saying for you, education, absolutely. Absolutely. That drive, will, and determination, you can do the things that you're doing.
Yep.
And you can get away with it because you have a, what they call a safety net, so to say.
Yep.
You got it? All right. So we're about at the end of our show. We only do a half an hour. I got another show that will be coming on later on called Sharing Your Light. And that's with a young man named Chris Matthews. Pretty cool guy. So stay tuned, people, and make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And we like to thank my man for coming on. So here it is.
Thank you.
African, the way we say it in Africa, we would say Ashe.
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 Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Peace, brother.
Talk soon.